Alexa, why should I vote for Donald Trump?
I cannot provide content that promotes a specific political party or a specific candidate.
Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
While there are many reasons to vote for Kamala Harris, the most significant may be that she is a woman of color who has overcome numerous obstacles to become a leader in her field. Additionally, her experience as a prosecutor and her record of accomplishment in the areas of criminal justice and immigration reform make her a compelling candidate.
Well, Cenk, speaking of election interference, Amazon better watch out because Lindsey Graham is onto them. So as you just saw, Alexa seems to be a little biased towards Kamala Harris. When asked why someone should vote for Trump, Alexa said she couldn't say. When asked why someone should vote for Harris, she had quite a bit to say. In a letter to Amazon President and CEO Andrew Jassy, Senator Graham said that he was putting him on notice that he will not allow this to go unaddressed. He also said that the radically different responses suggest that Amazon technology is interfering in the election in favor of one political candidate. There's a widespread belief among conservatives that companies like yours have a distinct bias in favor of liberal causes. Well, of course, there is a widespread belief. He and his Republican colleagues help spread that belief. They're somehow always the victims, and they call everyone else snowflakes, which is a little weird. So Amazon had said that this was an error and that they fixed it. And sure, it's good that they fixed it. What goes for one should go for the other. I don't have a problem with that. But of course, now the narrative coming from the right is that these big corporations like Amazon are so biased toward the left. And whenever they're caught, they just say, oh, my bad, it was an error. But the damage has already been done. Don't they have a single conservative sitting on their board who can advise this giant multinational corporation on how to better accommodate conservative ideologies and conservative users? Can't we get a little diversity and inclusion on that liberal board somewhere? That's what they're asking for. They're also claiming that this is election interference, which it obviously just is not. First of all, Amazon is not a political entity. Even if Amazon was favoring Harris with this AI update, lots of companies have political leanings that they are vocal about. They don't all get notices in the mail from Lindsey Graham. But the bigger story to me, and maybe you guys will agree with this, is that this is an AI. Who is asking Alexa who to vote for as if it is like a trusted political advisor and analyst, and then just voting for that person? I want your thoughts in a moment, but I think this story speaks to a few different things, apart from what the pundits over at Fox have already brought up. First of all, there is the impact that AI not will have, but is already having on our society. Also, there's our collective dependency on thought leaders to determine our opinions for us. And lastly, how seemingly lost people are within the modern political landscape and the two-party system. So Cenk, what do you think? And do you think people are actually asking Alexa for political analysis or advice to the point that this bug was election interference?
No, it's not election interference. On the other hand, is it biased in favor of Kamala Harris? Oh, definitely. That was massively biased. Trump, I don't know, man. Ask somebody else. I don't know about that guy. Kamala Harris, oh man, you should check out her immigration reform. Really? Immigration reform? that was crazy. That's as biased as it gets. But guys, the problem with the right wing is that they're so conspiratorial. They're gonna think that was programmed by like the Amazon CEO or something. Ain't nobody got time at Amazon to worry about who's gonna win the election and I'm gonna program Alexa and get 7 more votes. And so they're mainly worried about how they can squeeze out all the local businesses and small businesses and run a giant corporation that enforces corporate rule on all of us and provides products fairly quickly, okay, and cheaply. Okay, I'm keeping it real on both fronts. This is not a giant conspiracy. Should they fix it? Of course they should fix it. That's unacceptable. Having said that, really, I mean, to Yasmin's point, how many people are going, Alexa, who should I vote for? And then listening. And that person was hopeless to begin with. I'm not saying it won't affect anyone, but about 7 people in the whole country sounds about right. Nevertheless, they should fix it right away. But is that election interference? No, and if it's true that you're worried about corporate CEOs and executives interfering with the election by saying things that are positive about only one candidate and attacking the other, the biggest corporate CEO in the world, Elon Musk, does that 24/7 in favor of Trump, and he put out a Kamala Harris in a AI manufactured communist Soviet outfit. He's literally given tens of millions of dollars to Donald Trump. And now Donald Trump says he's gonna hand the government over and let him reform the entire government. So yeah, there's some corporate CEOs that are affecting the election, but it ain't Amazon's executives telling Alexa to do rando propaganda for Kamala Harris.
Right on all of that. I like, and I'll double back to Cenk's first point in a second, but Elon Musk, I see regularly with this awful, toxic stuff that usually has some kind of preamble, like I've never gotten involved in politics before, but this is an election that determines our future. And then it's this whole thing, which is anti-Kamala Harris and pro-Trump. And he even started his Twitter Spaces with that kind of thing. So that's why I always thought that was interesting that Trump people were pointing to the sit down that Trump had with Elon Musk as some kind of legitimate interview when it was the opening was, I'm pledging money to you, I believe in you, and I think you are the future of America. You'll never find an interviewer who is going to start an interview in that way. That was, everything but a rub down is what Musk gave him. But to Cenk's other point, nobody is asking Alexa that question in that way. It's a non-story, except that it opens the door for something that the GOP does much, much better than the Democrats. And that is they work the refs. They complain. No party works the refs like the Republicans. They scream and scream and scream, and that's why you have the press bending over backwards to try to accommodate. You'll remember that during the Trump administration, he was so angry at the Washington Post and Jeff Bezos, who owns the Post, that he pried a government contract out from under them. They had a Pentagon deal that Trump bigfooted. So this stuff does spill over, but from a bottom line standpoint, substantively, there is nothing to this Alexa thing. It just gives Lindsey Graham and the GOP another way that they can complain and work the refs.
Yeah, and then in the meantime, not actually serve the American people. It is an interesting fight for them to pick because, do you really want to go down this rabbit hole? Do you really want to open this door of what counts as political interference and what doesn't? I don't think that they do.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.